Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GSTZen's webinar. We will be starting shortly.
Sure. Okay. Can we start?
Yes, sir, we can start.
Okay, one more. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to GSTZen webinar series. And today's session is about how do we handle compliances. It's more about ensuring that you use technology, you file returns with utmost care. In fact, that's kind of a wishful statement. So in today's session, we will make an attempt how GSTZen can help the compliances and the journey of the litigation notice management to be simple. What we are going to talk is to fix the common errors which are happening and the challenges that are there. Feel free to put any questions that you have in the chat window. We will be taking. The flow of today's session is we will look at why GST issues are arising on the outward side, inward side, what key reconciliations that we need to have for about half an hour. And my colleague Manisha would be taking us through how GSTZen can help these problems. It's over 9 years. Everyone are now familiar with the concept GST. It's not new. But certain things in the GST law changes, especially the rates keep changing. And the team who is handling are changing. The accountant who is handling was not changing, or accounting software gets changed. The tool in which you prepare gets changed, or the working papers that is maintained is changed. Many things. There is keep on changing happen in the thing. And there has been a heavy dependency on accounting system while it is not reconciled. There is no timely reconciliation which is done. And GST is a transaction driven law. It is not a macro level where you pay like income tax on the net profit you're paying tax. No, but in GST, every invoice you classify whether taxable, not taxable, taxable at what rate, IGST, CGST, SGST that needs to be paid on the outward side. And on the inward side, every transaction you look at it, whether the purchase vendor has uploaded, can I get the credit? If uploaded, whether eligible, ineligible, is it blocked? If there is no GST in it, is it an exempt purchase, or should I need to pay RCM? So completely it's a transaction driven law. And there comes various interpretations. So someone says, okay, credit can be taken. Someone says this is taxable. All those issues that do happen. And we have multiple reporting system. We do e-invoicing, e-way bill, and we have billing in one software. There are off the MIS entries, audit adjustment entries. Someone suddenly comes and says, hey, I have committed to this customer, please raise a backdated invoice. I have to achieve my target. Or the vendor invoice has come that someone in the stores have not approved. So timely posting reconciliation is also pending. Now, these are the things which are resulting into various issues that come. So in today's session, we will see how do we address these issues and what is that we can do. Firstly, what you should do as a management person, as a chartered accountant, as a finance and tax head, is you need to insist on the team that you need to have a system-based and reconciliation, data-driven reporting. Everything should be system-based. Some may be saying, look, I'm comfortable with the Excel given by the department. What's wrong in it? Absolutely no wrong in it. It is pretty comfortable. But Excel is like an Excel. It is like a slate and a pencil. On a notebook, you write it and you erase it. On a slate, you write something on chalk piece, you erase it. Anytime you can insert a line, you can delete a line, you can add a column. So you can take the entity A sales register, you can upload it in entity B, anything can happen. And we all know Excel will have multiple versions, version 1, version 2, version 3. Then someone create a folder called final. Under that final 1, whatever the different versions people carry. The advantage of using a system-based reconciliation like GSTZen is you can do a key reconciliations, which is quickly books versus GST returns. Now, do you need to do a sales books versus GST returns? Answer is yes. You have filed all your sales register up until Jan 26, right? So 10 months data has already been filed. Can you do anything with it? No. But you can now download what is there in the government portal, which has already been filed. What is there in the books of accounts? Now you may say, will it change? Yes, this may change. Someone may have deleted an entry, someone may have cancelled an entry, but forgot to cancel an e-invoice portal because that window of 24 hours is lost, right? We don't know any of those changes that would have happened. Credit note is issued, debit note could have been raised for the supplementary invoice that needs to be read. Any of that could have happened. Or the vendor invoices which is lying with the stores has now been accounted. So I am losing an eligible ITC which otherwise I am eligible to take. Or I have availed an excess credit, but I'm not paid to the vendor within 180 days. The rule 37 triggers, I would end up paying penalties. So these regular reconciliations will help in identification of errors, correcting the errors in a timely manner, and if the department audit happens, smoothly complying with the departmental audits. Certain recent compliance department is focusing. Firstly, everything is system generated. We all know R1 data goes to 3B subject to 1A. You cannot now change anything in 3B. So your liability is frozen. Very soon 3B ITC would also be frozen. So system is checking if someone is meddling anything with the system generated notices would be coming. If R1 versus 3B, so you all saw DRC 01Bs were giving. Now the department has access to e-invoice receivable data. They can still issue ASMT 10 fund. Any fake invoice circular trading system catches. It automatically knows who is doing what. Everything is integrated. You should be watching the system. Now you may say, sir, look, I am doing business. I got to be out there on the field with the customer. I cannot watch your GST portal every day, morning and evening. Well, that's a valid point. That's where again GSTZen has brought in a notice management tracker. Okay, we will have a separate session on how GSTZen helps in handling notices. It will automatically fetch the details from the government portal, sends you an email alert of the notices, and it will also help you in drafting a reply. If you choose to draft a response, it will help you to draft reply and also connect to a chartered accountant in that respective region who can ensure that this is taken, right? So what is that you should do? Like how department is doing, you should start focusing on automation, adopt technology, reduce manual intervention. That is what you should also be doing. Let's quickly talk about the outward related, ITC related, then we will take the journey of ISD. So we'll first look at the outward returns related R1 versus 3B. The issues could be, I have reported in R1 but not paid in 3B. Now, this was a common issue till 3B got logged, because I could keep editing the numbers in 3B. Now, with 1A being there, the amendments have to be routed through 1A. Now, having a downloaded consolidated 3B and 1 makes more useful. What are the still common errors that are there? Yes, there mistakes that happens. You received an advance, you paid in tax on advance, you have not adjusted the advance. Or you are reporting sales through e-commerce operator. Let's say I am a restaurant, I'm making a sales of 1 crore rupees per month, of which 80 lakhs is across the counter, 20 lakhs through e-commerce operator. Now, when a sale is happening through e-commerce operator, obviously I will not be paying the tax. It's a 9(5) supply, the e-commerce operator would be paying. Now, if e-commerce operator is paying and I'm treating it as an exempt supply, how will department will agree that? That is where you have table 14. Now, what is this table 14? Not many are aware of what is the turnover needs to be reported in table 14 and 15. That's new tables which got introduced 2 years back. Again, the lack of knowledge, awareness is missing in it. Advances and e-commerce supply is a common mistakes that people do and doesn't get reported. The second issues that happen is wrong payment of taxes or wrong reporting of taxes. I would have issued an IGST invoice, but actually I would have reported as CGST, SGST, or vice versa, especially in the case of B2C supplies. So you need to have a methodology where you upload the entire sales register. At GSTZen, it will give you an indication of what should be the tax basis the place of supply. So having a checklist ensuring that this is the tax that needs to be paid, and having an electronic ledgers in your books of account mimicking what is the right taxes that needs to be paid is also an important aspect one needs to take care of. HSN has become more stringent now. So government is expecting the HSN to be reported at 6 digits. It is a right thing in the books of accounts the HSN comes up, because the rate of tax is always determined by the HSN. Now a departmental store can say, a big bazaar or more supermarket can say, look, I sell so many items. Is it practical to give you HSN wise reconciliation? But unless the HSN wise reconciliation is given, how do I say they have paid a right type of tax? Sugar is taxed at one rate, rice is exempted, oil is taxed at one rate. Now, thankfully, 12% has gone, but earlier we had 0, 5, 12, 18, 28, right? Now, these many rates at a maze, how will one say that the right tax has been adopted? So, having the HSN wise reporting from the system matters. What is the right way? Have a centralized HSN SSA matters. Have a rate validation control. GSTZen provides you an API where you send the HSN number, you'll get the respective details of it. Most of them use a HSN which is not there in the HSN master. Just because 6 digits is required, I cannot like erratically type 838346. That HSN doesn't exist, right? So that's also more important that we validate the HSN from the master which is there in the government portal, and periodically the rate needs to be reviewed and updated. Next, invoice sequencing and control. Table 12 of R1 expects you to report the records. This is a common table which we notice people don't report it or make mistakes. When you upload the sales register to GSTZen, it will automatically prepare the sequencing and reporting. Imagine someone like MedPlus, Apollo Pharmacy, who has each state around 500, 600 stores in each state. Now they may choose to want the invoice number qua store name, right? There could be a series which will change. There are a lot of customers like Airtel and others who are selling large amount of B2C, wants to change their sequencing once in a week. They don't want their customers to know what is my current sequence and how many billings are happening. You know, even they don't want that. So businesses have their reasons to have multiple series. Can multiple series permitted? Yes. Having said that, these multiple series have to be reported into the R1. Can I have the same series number in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu? Answer is yes. You can have the same series number in the multiple states. That is permitted. But within the state, within the GST, you cannot have the same sequence continuing. I cannot have invoice number 1 in the month of April, again invoice number 1 in the month of May. That is not permitted. APR 01, MAY 01 is different from 0101. So these are all case sensitive, and having it segregated helps. So at GSTZen, the team helps in properly reporting the sequence wise the invoices. When there is a breakage in the system, some might want to continue 1000 to 10,000 series for vertical A, 10,001 to 20,000 to vertical B, permitted. Any combinations are permitted. It's just that it has to be sequentially numbered. This also has to be done. A wrong reporting of this will impact either under-reporting or over-reporting. And the practical solution is when you upload the register to Zen, it will help you to see if there are any exceptions or duplicates that are coming. Next comes handling amendments. This is one common error, and the use of technology helps a lot. That is where at the beginning I have said that, look, you are in the month of February, you have already filed everything up until January, but someone has made changes in the books. So when you do a reconciliation, you will automatically know in your table 9, A, 9B, 9C, debit notes, credit notes, amendment to table 4, 5, 6. How do I do it? It could be an amendment upward, downward, or issuance of a new credit note, debit note. All of this can be done automatically. And always preventive control is the best control. How do you do a preventive control? Implement a systematic GST reconciliation system. So when you are using GSTZen, it will give you a reconciliation reports of all the data month over month. You can have a maker checker mechanism, so there can be multiple users permitted in GSTZen for the same GST number. One user can be uploader, reviewer, the other user can be checker, and they can file the return once everything is okay. Have a GST compliance calendar. At GSTZen, there is a calendar which will automatically populate, showing up the notices, showing up the due date to file. Have a pre-filing checklist, where in GSTZen you can see step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Before you hit the submit button, everything happens. In spite of all this, we always suggest have a regular GST internal audit or a review which is done by a consultant who can actually give you a deeper insights if you're missing something. Let's move on to input tax credit related. Before that, if you have any questions on the outward related, you can put your questions in the chat. Let me see if there are any questions. Right, there is no question. Very good. I would still suggest you are here. If you have any questions, do reach to us. Let's move to input tax credit. Firstly, the input tax credit, you need to understand what is the statement of the truth, what I need to take. What is the eligible, ineligible, common ITC? What are the rules for availing credit, reversing credit, and impact of availing a wrong credit? Let's look at that. Firstly, why this is important? Because anything which is something going wrong, it is going to directly hit your P&L. You have availed a credit and suddenly someone says, no, this is an ineligible. So you are debiting it back to P&L. That means you're paying it in cash. So, and along with interest. So that is very challenging. Second, ITC is not a fundamental right, like how you have Article 14, 19, 21 under the Constitution giving you a fundamental right. No, this is not your fundamental right. If you have not availed, you have not availed. It's like you have taken a buffet and there are 10 items of food served there. You are not chosen to eat some 3. You can't go tomorrow and say, look, I did not eat 3. Can I eat now? No, it's not like that. There's a time limit. You better take it within that. And if you have a vendor, you got to ensure you have a right vendor. Let's look at a simple example. I am a dealer of some mobile phones, and let's say I am buying from a master distributor of Samsung or Apple or anyone, and I'm a small retail shop. I'm exclusively dealing in one category of the product. And every month, diligently, that distributor files the returns, I take a credit and I sell the goods. I keep a margin of 10% in doing the business. Suddenly, 1 month, that distributor files his R1 late. What would happen? I get the credit to the next month. What would that mean? In the previous month, all the sales I have done, I will end up paying the GST in cash, no ITC. That means the 10% which otherwise I have to pay, I'm paying 100%. It will take 9 more months or 10 more months for me to recover. What's the impact on the cash? Yeah, that's more important. You always have to be watchful on the errant, non-compliant, delayed, default vendors. At GSTZen, you also have APIs where you can periodically check which are all the vendors are complying with, which are the vendors are non-compliant. GSTN also has promised to give what is the compliance rating of the vendors. We might hopeful to see it sometime during the day. Yeah. Then people always have this confusion between 2A and versus 2B, which is the one I have to look at it. As you know, 2A is a dynamic and 2B a static statement. 2A and 2B, if from the finance angle, if I have to say, 2A can be compared with your profit and loss account, 2B can be compared with your cash flow statement. In fact, after IMS coming in, 2B has the two truths. One which is generated on 14th and which is 13th midnight, and the another which is just before you are filing 3B, because the 2B gets finalized after IMS is finalized. Now 2B can be can correlated as how much credit I am eligible for the month, but 2A says how much credit you otherwise in a normal way you have to get. I have to get 100 rupees, but 10 vendors have not filed. You are getting 90 rupees. That's what your 2B is saying. So this 10 rupees is going to the next month, to the next month, and next month. On a longer horizon, 2A and 2B will match, but 2A is also always going to say that if you have to compare with your P&L account, what you are looking at is your 2A. I'll just skip the 2A versus 2B. Let's move to ineligible. 17 subsection 5 of the Act, which talks about ineligible ITC, which is starting with 17 subsection 5 clause A on the motor vehicles, especially the passenger goods. On a goods vehicle, you will get the credit. On a specially made vehicles like cranes and others, you will get the credit. If it is a passenger vehicle, then it has to be having a seating capacity not less than 13. That means 13 and above, you should have the seating capacity, only then you'll get the credit, right? So people who take, let's say, small TVS for delivering some items, a small passenger vehicle for pickup and drop of the employees, none of these are eligible for credits. Now there comes that someone like a big lorry who is in the business of delivery, where they take it and they say that can I take the credit of it? Now goods transport agencies have multiple rates. They have 5% with ITC, RCM, 5% without ITC, RCM, and 18% with ITC. Now a business have to take a choice whether they want to go one route or the other route. That is very important. Choosing a route is very important. Knowing what they're eligible for and knowing which route they would want to go. Anything on the food and beverages, club membership, personal expenditure is not eligible, because personal expenditure, 16 subsection 1 itself blocks it and says like business, ITC is for business. Other than business, do not take the credit. The more spoken is 17 subsection 5 clause C and clause D on the construction related activity. Here, anything which you treat as an immobile property, you will not get input tax credit. Like a commonly asked question is, I have put up a solar panel for power generation. Will I get the input tax credit? Is it an immobile property? So the definition of immobile property needs to be ascertained, and very old 1961 in movie cinema theater related case, where we have seen the mode of annexation and purpose of annexation would determine the eligibility of the ITC, whether they become an input tax credit as immobile property or input tax credit as a furniture. If you look at your office where right now you are sitting left, right, there would be a window and there would be a grill that would have been affixed. That grill becomes an immovable property, but there is a door which is at the entrance of this room, which is artificially separating and can always be moved. Likewise, the grill can also be moved. So mode of annexation and purpose of annexation would determine whether it is an immobile property or not. And that is very important to decide whether you take the credit or not. So what you are seeing on the screen are ineligible credits, and you do not take ITC. Ineligible, and what's the impact it? Because ineligible, you have to charge it to P&L, claim depreciation. If you are availing it, then you will have a pressure, because when you are paying, it will be going to block your cash flow. Another thing that you need to do, which GSTZen can help you, is you can upload your purchase register. It can do an expense-wise ITC classification. You can easily segregate eligible and ineligible. There will be a lot of expenses where you do not have an ITC. That will help you to say that these are the input tax credits where ideally should have been there in the bills. Either the accountant did not account it, or the supplier would have issued as RCM. That is something that you can do. So we have a facility where you can classify different departments when you're uploading the Excel. and you can do a periodic review of those expenses in the GLs when you upload it to GSTZen. There is a facility that we also do in training of your AP and finance team on how the reconciliations to be done, how the vendors needs to be followed up, how do you need to send an email. So in a while, our colleague Manisha would also do a demonstration of how this needs to be used. We spoke about Rule 37, where you don't pay to the vendor within 180 days, you need to reverse the input tax credit. Likewise, we have 37A, to ensure your condition under 16 subsection 2 clause C on the supplier making the payment is also mandatory. So if supplier is filing his 3B, it is deemed that he has paid the taxes. GSTZen can help you an automated reporting of compliance to Rule 37A, where you enter the GST numbers. It can say whether the suppliers have filed the 3B or not, or when is the last 3B they have filed. We will be able to explain you. Rule 42 is a common area where people make a mistake, that whenever you have an outward exempt, you have to segregate all the purchases into used exclusively towards taxable, used exclusively towards exempt, and what are common. These common have to be segregated between taxable and exempt, because the exempted ITC gets blocked. So this is an area people either they don't understand, make mistakes. Rule 42 is for your regular purchases, and 43 is your capital goods purchases. So where the same machinery is used. For example, let's say this laptop or this computer on which I'm doing a training, and I have an exempted supply and a taxable supply, this becomes a common ITC. 42 is pretty simple, easy, but 43 when it comes, it needs little detailed work. So make sure you have systems which is taking care of Rule 43. Have a methodology which you do a monthly reversal and you do an annual true up whenever you are doing the reconciliation of reversal. Because we have something now, 4B1 a permanent reversal, 4B2 a temporary reversal. The temporary reversal will go to electronic credit reclaim and reversal and reclaim statement. When you are reclaiming it, you have to report it in your 4D1. Unless you report in 4D1, the value in your reclaim statement will not come up. So you can say ECRS is a shadow balance. The common mistake that happens in R1 is on advances and ITC is on the temporary reversal. People do, instead of reversing in permanent, they reverse in temporary. In terms of temporary, they reverse in permanent. Or they have taken to reversal and reclaim, they forgot to reclaim it. This is one common thing, right? So ensure you use these GSTZen to track it. Last part of today's discussion is on input service distributor. This is a new area that has come. So we have included in this today's discussion because from last financial year, ISD registrations have gone up. People don't know how to file R6, how to identify common credits, what needs to be distributed, what is there in HO. So all those issues are there. So firstly, the one needs to have a training on identifying the common ITC, then distributing it. Manner of distribution. Manner of distribution is very simple. Segregating the ITC between eligible and ineligible. The eligible will be distributed basis the turnover of the previous quarter. Assuming previous quarter turnover is not there, then the turnover of the previous year, right? That is the basis in which you distribute. Now, this is a very simple, but if you don't do it, or you adopt the incorrect distribution ratio, then you end up another problem, ITC denial at the recipient. Either department would raise an objection that, okay, your distribution is wrong. It is favoring one state and not favoring other state. So that is going to become a problem. Have a clear ISD policy. Do monthly reconciliation of ISD credit. So at GSTZen, you can also import the purchase line items. You can do what are the credits to be allocated to whichever the GST number. You can revalidate the recipient GST numbers, because distribution will be happening from ISD number, availment will happen from the regular numbers. So your ITC register 4A4 will carry these credits. So that way you can be very sure that the credits availed, credits distributed, and credits back in the respective recipient GST is matching or not. You can have a trail of it when you use GSTZen. Next aspect is on notices. I'm not going to spend much time. We are going to have an exclusive GST notice litigation managed tracker, because impact of notice is it's a demand, and you can't ignore the notice. You need to do a reconciliation with the books. What are the relied upon documents? You need to have it. We have built a complete notice management suite, and I would suggest everyone to use the litigation tracker of the GSTZen, which will help you to mitigate your risks, right? What are the best practices for the compliances, and what is that you need to do? Have a proper reconciliation, create a vendor compliance monitoring. Whenever you are reversing an ITC, park it to permanent and temporary. If it is a temporary, ensure you have reversal and reclaim tracker, and always take the credit basis 2B. And when I am saying 2B, you have two 2Bs, one on 13th midnight and after from coming from IMS. So keep that as your basis. With this, I'll give a pause, and I will hand it over to Manisha to demonstrate whatever we have discussed, how GSTZen can help. And again, at the end, I will come back and what GSTN portal is doing, and how we can at GSTZen help to mitigate the portal related errors. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to put your questions. Manisha, over to you.
Yeah, sir. So, hi, good afternoon, everybody. So today I will be demonstrating that how you can use GSTZen and make your returns and reconciliations error-free. So once you sign up and log in with GSTZen, so this will be your dashboard where you will get the tabs like GSTs, tax return, PAN. You will see all the GST numbers on your dashboard. If you want to add more GST numbers, you will get the tab at the top itself. When you click on it, it will take you to the next screen where you can add a single GST number or multiple GST numbers in one go. It will show all the details, what your account is configured with. Here, mine is configured with 100 GST number where I have added just 76. 24 is still available for me to add in GSTZen subscription or configuration, whatever is done in the backend. So you can add the GST numbers. You can just copy paste all the GST numbers by providing the comma or the space. Click on the validate GST number, GST, and it will validate the formatting of GST number, whether that is active or it's not. And then you can subsequently add the GST numbers. Once add, this is how it will show. It will give you the GST name, and then it will show you the GST number and a quick options for you to move around for this GST number. Next option at the top left, right, we have is manage multiple GSTNs. So using this tab, you can upload PAN level sales register and purchase register in one go. You don't need to split your data on a particular GST number and then upload. This autopilot feature helps you to work with 50 GST numbers in one go. You can download the data, you can file return, you can check the vendor filing status, and much more in this autopilot for 50 GST numbers in one go. Then we have this notices where, as sir mentioned, that Very soon we are launching the litigation management tool, but still we have this notices in GSTZen where you can have a calendar format where it will show you the status of all the notices, whatever you have put in. You can have a summary of all the notices. You can download the PDF if you want so, and many much and more options are there in this notice management. I'll be quickly selecting one GST number to show that how it works. So I search the GST number in the search bar and I'll be choosing this Clouds and Software Labs Private Limited GST number. Here you will see this as well, that it's a regular taxpayer. Similarly for the ISD, it will show ISD beside that GST number itself. So once you select the GST number, it will take you to the next screen, that is download a report, reconcile and file return. Under this download a report, you will get this consolidated report. So this report is specifically provided by the GSTZen, where you can have a comparison of GSTR 1 versus 3B, GSTR 2A versus 3B, GSTR 2B versus 3B. So all that comparison, quick comparisons are provided under this particular consolidated report. Then we have GSTR 1 report 1A, GSTR 1 download e-invoices, 2A, 2B. All these reports are available on the monthly as well as yearly consolidated report. Moving to the next, that is reconciliation. So we have four types of reconciliation at present for the regular GST number, that is purchase register versus 2A, purchase register versus 2B, sales register versus GSTR1, sales register versus GSTR1 e-invoices. So I'll be quickly talk about purchase register versus 2B. Just to mention, all the steps in all the four types of reconciliation are absolutely the same. So post choosing the type of reconciliation you want to perform, we have to choose the financial year, that will be 25-26. I will be performing it for the current year itself. So in the step one, we have to fetch the data whichever is there on the government portal. And to fetch the data, we have two options to log in on the government portal directly from GSTZen. One is username and password, another one is OTP. So here, because I have already logged in, so it is showing me that I have logged in using OTP. Here it is giving you all these legends, like referring to what you can understand whether your data is already downloaded or you're required to download again. Because this is a 2B data and it's a static, so data won't be getting changed. So here it won't allow me to download the data again. So it is already showing that it's green. That means data is already downloaded. But still, if it's yellow, then I can just click on this checkbox and click on this download from the government portal and give the command as yes. The yellow circle will turn into green with this tick. That means the data is successfully downloaded. With this first step, the second step is to upload your purchase register for the purpose of reconciliation. Here we have two options. Either you can do it through Excel or through Tally. I'll be quickly explaining you that how you can easily upload your Excel, as we do not have any restriction over the template. Although we have given two samples for the reference, you can just refer it, but you can use your own sample. You can use your own Excel template, whichever you are maintaining or you're getting from your client. So I'll be uploading one sample data here. Here we have two formats to do that. Either you do it at a line item wise or you do it at invoice level. So here I have uploaded the line item wise. So I'll choose the format and click on upload purchases. Once you upload the Excel, it will show you all the sheets, whatever you have in your Excel. So I'll be using this purchase register as I'm performing the reconciliation. So once I upload it, and as I mentioned, there is no restriction over the template. So it will show you here, it will show you all the columns of your Excel template. And you just have to map the columns here to instruct the system that you are supposed to pick this particular field information from this particular column of your Excel. So here I have provided like it's a supplier GST number. You will get a drop down. You just have to select which particular columns can provide this particular supplier GST and information to the system. So here you will map all these columns with this red star. These you will map. And also, if you are using the same template every time, you don't have to do this mapping again and again. You just quickly can overview and go ahead. So mapping is already done. So I'll be just quickly move and click on this press file upload. So once I upload this sheet in the system, it will give me this quick summary where I can just verify my taxable amounts, my count of documents, CGST, SGST, and IGST amounts. And if we have any error or if we have not mapped the columns correctly, it will show us the error like this. You can just go back to your Excel, make the corrections, and upload it again. If you think that these are the invoices which you can ignore and move ahead, you can just simply click on confirm and save entries. Once you save, it will give you the notification that data import complete. And this is how it will show the summary. You will click on view uploaded entry. It will take you to the next page that is specifically says purchase register. So this page will have all the data of your purchase invoices. You have specifically uploaded. Also, there are some filters available. You can filter for an invoice number, you can filter for a specific seller, you can filter the invoices for a specific date range. You can just apply multiple filters and click on this filter result, and you will get all the filtered invoices. Let me take you back to the reconciliation page. With this uploading of purchase register, we have completed our second step of reconciliation. Now comes the third step, that is run GSTZen intelligent matcher. So once I click on it, it will give me two parameters of reconciliation report, that is maximum days difference and maximum tax amount difference. So here you can choose the maximum days difference up to 30 days and the tax amount up to 50 days, or the amount of difference you can bear. You can keep it like this and run intelligent matcher. Other than these two parameters also, this is an important step as it matches all the invoices of your books with the portal invoices. So you can see that we have just completed with all the steps. Now the turn is for the reports. So here we have three types of reconciliation report based on the invoice date, based on 3B claim period and 2B filing period. You can have a monthly report or you can have an yearly consolidated report. I will download one yearly consolidated report based on 2B filing period. So this report, like whatever working you will do in this report, it will save automatically into GSTZen. You just have to enable this macros. You are not required to re-upload it as well, because we have a tab here in this report which will automatically save all your working into GSTZen if you have enabled those macros. So this is the reconciliation report in front of you, which has 5 sheets. One is the overview sheet, which will give you a quick numbers. What is the count of the invoices we have from portal? What is the invoice of count you have uploaded from your books? And if there is any difference amongst the invoice like amounts and everything. And you will understand this report better once I'll explain you the third sheet of this report, which is the main reconciliation sheet. Moving to the second sheet, that is GSTR 2B summary. It will give you the ITC calculation, like the summary of ITC, what is there under IGST, under CGST and SGST. You can check this sheet out. Moving to the next most important sheet, where you will be performing all your reconciliations. So this sheet will have all the necessary information which you might require for the purpose of reconciliation. And moving to directly to the fields which you can use for this reconciliation. So here we have all the amounts which are highlighted in green, states that these are the invoices which are present in books and portal both, means these are the matched invoices. All the invoices which are highlighted in blue states that these are the invoices which are there only in portal. And if you check for this yellow highlighted invoices, this means these invoices are available only in portal. You can simply apply the filter on this AM column and work with this books and portal invoices, or only in books or only in portal invoices. Then we have this peachish color columns. We have specifically colored these columns because these are your main reconciliation columns, where you will be performing all the reconciliation working, and or whatever you will perform, it will automatically save into GSTZen. I will show you how. Let me just quickly talk about these columns we have. First is this RECO action. Under this, we got a drop down, like which which includes the option like review later, wrong invoice by supplier, lost ITC, email supplier, email to supplier sent, and log match. So these are the columns, these are the options which are available. You just simply can choose, maybe I want to, for this portal invoice, I want to keep the data as review later. So I choose this. Next column we have is this ITC eligibility. Again, we have a drop down where we can choose among the eligible or ineligible or common credit. We can choose among this option. Next we have is this ITC status, which states that whether it's accepted, rejected, pending accept, accept and reverse. Let's suppose I just want to keep it as accepted. So I have chosen this. Or if I want to make it for multiple invoices, I can just drag and drop. I can just drag and put it the same. Next column we have is this claim date. Let's suppose if I want to keep this particular invoice and note as a specific claim date. So I can put the claim date here. For the purpose of reconciliation, if you want to make a note of any of the invoice, let's suppose if I want to make it for this like a duplicate invoice. So I can keep it and make a note here. I'll tell you what I will what I will be doing with these, whatever additions I'll be doing. So next we have is this force match. So this force match portal invoice row number is a basically a force match whenever you provide any fields in the step 3. In the step 3, you provide the options as per your choice. And because of those choices, this reconciliation, some invoices does not get matched. So you can use this force match portal invoice row number. So as you can see, I have made few changes in this peachish color columns. I'll go to this GST tab here at the top and click on this invoices upload. So it will give me a progress bar and states that upload to GSTZen successfully. And whenever I will be downloading the same report from GSTZen, it will show me all these workings automatically in this report. So this is the relevance of the speechish color columns. Moving to the further columns we have is GSTN as per books, customer GSTN as per book, as per portal, buyer GSTN, seller GSTN, whether it's match or not match. So there are so many columns for your reference. You can just simply check that out. Moving to the next sheet, that is GSTR to be amended versus original. So as while explaining, sir mentioned that there are some common mistakes which happen is like we make the multiple amendments against that original invoice, or if we are not aware that what is the against which particular original invoice we have made the amendment. So this sheet can help you with that particular data, as it will give you, as the name states, amended versus original. So it will give you the details of all the original invoices against which the amendment happened. So this is the amendment section, and against this is the original invoice against which this amendment happened. Moving to the next sheet, that is the last sheet of this reconciliation report, which is GSTR to be by vendor. So this is nothing, just the clear dump of whatever you have uploaded as your purchase register, or you have downloaded from the government portal. You can apply multiple filters as per your convenience and work around. So with this, we are done with this reconciliation part. If you have like with the 2B, if you have any question, of course you can ask or you can reach out to us later. Here I'll take few minutes to talk about the GST sales register versus GSTR1 as well. And as I mentioned, the steps are absolutely same. I'll just walk you through quickly. So I'll be choosing the financial year. Again, I'll be doing with the current financial year. The step 1 is again downloading the data with portal. Here, once you log in for the purpose of 2B RICO, it will automatically be logged in for the sales RICO as well. You don't have to log into individual pages. Once you are logged in for the whole software. So again, it will show you all the sections of GSTR1 which you can fetch. The second option is again to upload the sales register, and the steps to upload is absolutely the same as I did in the purchase register. Then the third step would again be running the matcher. And fourth step is you will have the reports based on the invoice date or the claim or the record date or the filing period. The steps are absolutely the same. The report will also more or less the same for this reconciliation as well. Now I'll be talking about that how easily you can file your return using GSTZen. So for this return thing, we have GSTR1, GSTR1A, 3B, and the annual returns 9 and 9C. If we talk about the GSTR1, I'll be choosing the current filing period. Although the return is still is filed, but still I can talk about and show you that how simple the steps are. So we have different screens for with invoices, without invoices, and with the nil return. Let's talk about with invoices GSTR1, how you can file it. So here we have a step 0 where you can fetch whatever is auto-populated in your GSTR1 on the government portal. So here it will quickly fetch by using this tab. And if you want to download and see what is auto-populated, you can simply download an Excel from here only. Then we have is first step is uploading your sales register. There is an option, either you upload the whole complete sales register, whether it's auto populated or not. We will do it on the screen only to check whether it's auto populated or not. Also, if you upload the HSN codes along with your sales register, it will calculate your HSN summary. You don't have to do it manually. Once you do the sales register, you can provide this summary of issued document. And to be honest, very soon we are making this also automated. So next step is, as I mentioned, there is no restriction whether you include the invoices in the sales register which are auto-populated or not. Here we have few settings using which you can decide whether you want to file the return including the auto-populated data or you want to exclude the auto-populated data. So here we have four settings. Invoices present in the books, let's suppose the invoices which are not auto populated but are there in the sales register, you have an option to include that in the portal, so you will choose the filter like this. Then we have invoices present only in auto populated e-invoices. So whatever invoices are there auto populated, whether to include or not in your this particular return, it's on you, you can choose it accordingly. Like this is the actual page where the settings are. Then we have is books and invoices exact match. You can choose either whether you want to keep the books invoices or you want to work with the portal invoices. And if there is any difference, again it's on you whether to go with the portal or with the book, and click on save changes payload. As I have not filled the uh, I have not chosen anything, that's why it gave me the error. Then you can just simply click on calculate again. It will again give you this type of a tabular form where you can just verify the figures in total. And if you're okay with it, you can just upload your data. Once you get the complete status here, you generate the summary. Again, there is an option with you to review whether all the things are perfect or not. You have the GSTZen summary, you have the portal summary, and the comparison between both. If you're okay with this comparison, that whatever figures are here, you can just simply file your return using EVC or with the DSC. With these automated steps, whether to include auto-populated or not, you can file your GSTR1 through GSTZen. Also, to add on, we have one clip here where you can save all your workings respect to this particular GSTR1, which you might need later to refer for the reference. So this is about the GSTR1. Moving to 3B, let me just quickly take a minute and show you all the steps which we have in 3B. So for this GSTR3B, again, you will fetch what is there on the portal. You will review it in the second step. Third step, if you want to make any of the changes, you have an option here with the name fill. Here, all the data will be auto-populated, but still these are editable fields. If you want to make any of the changes in any of the figures, you can just simply make a change and click on save your working. Once you save on your working, it will take you back to the previous page. And in step 4, you can upload your working to the portal. It will give you the create challan and make payment. Once you are done with this step 5, you can download the summary, what is there on the portal. You can offset your GSTR3B liability by uploading the data, and you can file the return with EVC and DSC. With this auto-populated thing, you can easily file the return. This is about the regular GST number we have. Let me just take 2 more minutes and talk about the ISD GST number, what all things are available for that as well. I'll just simply search for that ISD and it will show me all the GST numbers, whatever is added in my account for this ISD working. Let's suppose I'll choose the first GST number itself, and it is showing me that I'm working on the ISD GST number. Again, throughout the software, we are trying to maintain the consistency so that you don't have to struggle to find a specific option. The screen will look absolutely the same, whether it's for regular GST number or for ISD or for STZ. So for this ISD thing, under this download a report, we have consolidated report of 6 and 6A. And you can also have that electronic ledger report, which I think plays a significant role in ISD as well. So for this reconciliation, we have books versus GSTR 6A. And for this GSTR's return, we have GSTR 6 monthly return as well, where you will be uploading your purchase register and whether you provide any of the allocated GST number or not, it will auto calculate. Depending, if you do not provide, it will distribute the ITC throughout the PAN. If you provide for a specific allocated GST number, it will distribute the ITC in that particular GST number. I would highly recommend go create one GSTZen account. You will get a trial period, add a GST number, and give it a chance. So this is about it from my side. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us on support@gstzen.in. Over to you, sir. Thank you, everyone. You are on mute.
Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yeah. So this is where we come to the end, and I'm saying the successful piece in the GST comes with effective compliance. That means you are accurately filing the returns, reconciling the data, and timely filing your returns. We have discussed about the common mistakes, so try avoiding them. Have a proper training, especially ITC related provisions. GSTZen helps in smooth reconciliation of R1, 3B, and 2A to be necessary all the times. There are some aspects on the portal related errors, mostly for those who are using either API or the direct portal. We're not discussing that, but always feel free to reach us. Even if you have any questions on the portal related aspects. So we are leaving our connect. So you can reach to me on venu@vnv.ca for any conceptual queries. Any GSTZen related queries, you can always tag us at support@gstzen.in, or you can do a WhatsApp on 7406 441122. Yeah. With this, we have come to end of today's webinar. Thank you so much for your time and active participation. We hope this session has made the GST compliance simple, especially on fixing common problems and errors, and you have gained some clarity and practical insights for the better GST compliance. Yeah. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. I will be happy to take it up. All the questions that have come so far have been answered. All right, I think we're bang on time. So at 4 o'clock, we can end the session with this. Thank you, everyone, and good day.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar. Thank you, sir.